Post-harvest loss of perishable farm produce, including fruits, vegetables, roots and tubers, amounts to about 50%. About 30% of food grains like maize, millet and rice are also lost after harvest due to poor storage methods or the lack of modern preservation facilities in Nigeria. But the good news is, there are several institutions under the Federal Ministry of Agriculture working hard to develop technologies that will make the challenges of food preservation and storage a bygone affair. One of such institutions is the Nigerian Stored Products Research Institute, Ilorin, Kwara State. What are the areas of focus of the institute? What technologies has it come up with that could change the present narrative and set the nation on a path of sustainable growth in agriculture? These questions and more we shall be answering in this episode of Transforming Agriculture in Nigeria. Welcome to the program. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Join me after the break for the full program. Keep watching. Welcome back. We first begin the program with the news segment, highlighting activities involving key functionaries of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development and stakeholders in the agricultural sector. The details. Don't go away.
As you can see here, this is a Brahma chicken, yam seed.
The Kaduna State government has hailed the resilience of its farmers in ensuring sufficient availability of food in the state, even during the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic.
So I'll just say Kaduna State farmers are very hardworking.
The commendation was given by the State's Commissioner for Agriculture and Forestry, Halima Lawal, during the 2020 World Food Day celebration in the state. Speaking on the sidelines of the event, Lawal said the state owed farmers a lot of gratitude for remaining steadfast in such a trying period.
First is appreciation, I guess, not just goodwill, and we have always prayed that they have a bumper harvest this year, and from the exhibition you can see that most of the produce here are looking very good. So I'll just say Kaduna State farmers are very hardworking. They have heeded our call in support of our drive to ensure food security for the citizens.
The event, tagged Smart Solutions for Healthy Diets, underscored the need of the state to grow crops and vegetables that will improve nutrition and livelihood using improved methods. It was hosted in collaboration with the State Appeals Project, with support from Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the Rockefeller Foundation, UCAID, USAID, and AGRA. A major attraction at the event was the exhibition by farmers of different crops as well as those along the agricultural value chain.
This is ginger, cocoyam, groundnut.
It also helps in preventing asthma.
There is no body that can exist without food, but we need to also improve on the quality of what we are doing. Most especially when I went around the exhibition table, some of the exhibitors actually need capacity building in terms of packaging, in terms of processing, in terms of even production, so that they can be able to measure up with what is happening in today's world.
The Institute for Agricultural Research recently organized an open day at its Ahmadu Bello University Zaria complex. It was part of continuing efforts by the Institute to bridge the gap between research activities and farmers. The event featured a tour of the Institute's experimentation farms led by the Executive Director, Professor Ishaku Muhammad, in company of the Vice Chancellor of Ahmadu Bello University, Professor Kabir Bala, along with industry stakeholders, scientists and technicians who led farmers around its different farm blocks to reveal breakthroughs and revelations from concluded and ongoing experiments. During a brief interactive session after the tour, the executive director of the institute observed that while the institute is doing a lot in the production of breeder seeds, foundation seeds, and even certified seeds on demand through a registered enterprise, there is need for improved attention to research.
As stakeholders, especially the commodity growers, should impinge on Central Bank of Nigeria and the federal government policy-making machinery to ensure that the input of experts leads and drives agricultural development up to the downstream level. Otherwise, we shall be repeating many of these similar programs.
He noted that the institute has several windows through which it reaches out to farmers. The participating farmers, who are from communities the IAR has taken under its wings, confess that a lot has been learned from the sessions.
IAR is doing the best for sunflower in Nigeria, having the mandate of its genetic improvement. And since the inception of this association, we have been working closely with the institute so that we can get the best.
You're still watching Transforming Agriculture in Nigeria, and thanks for staying with us. A peek into the perishable produce business will bring out the problems of lack of storage. It is such insight that has spurred the Nigeria Stored Products Research Institute to research into homegrown technologies that will propel the nation towards sustainable food production and value addition. In our next segment, we will focus on the great things being done at the Institute. Why don't you sit back and watch?
Bakindogo, a section of the Kaduna Central Market, is the hub for dealers in the tomato produce. This market attracts thousands of tomato farmers, traders, and consumers from far and near daily. It boasts of over 1,500 baskets of tomato exchanging hands, with a trade volume averaging 10 to 12 million naira weekly. The man that oversees the operations in the market and other stakeholders talk about the challenges of those in the business.
How long tomato lasts depends on the weather. During hot season, it can hardly stay beyond 1 or 2 days. But during cold season, like during Hamatan, it may last up to a week before it goes bad.
There is no any preserving of tomato, except you want to use it for tin tomato, or you want to boil it and preserve it on your freezer. That is the only way.
Certainly not the only way, as the Nigerian Stored Products Research Institute, through its research and technology deployment, is changing the narrative.
The Nigerian Stored Products Research Institute is an offshoot of the West African Stored Product Research Unit that was established during the colonial era, about 1948. And then it was meant to look at the quality of cash crops that were being exported out of the country. But after the independence, it now transformed to the Nigerian Stored Product Research Institute. Well, we conduct basic research. We also conduct applied research. Applied research in the sense that our stakeholders come with issues, problems, and so we talk about demand-driven research. So we conduct research under such situations to offer solutions to their problems. We also have experimental development by which we also come about some innovations.
It's okay.
The live wire of the Nigerian Stored Product Research Institute is in its research operations that comprise post-harvest research department, engineering, perishable crop research, durable crop research, and the Outreach Department.
The research interest in Nigerian stock product research consists of post-harvest activities on every food produced and consumed in Nigeria. And it goes from grains. When you talk about grains, you are talking about something like cereals crop. Those are crops like rice that cannot be split, grains that cannot be split. Those are cereals crop. We talk about the legume, some of the grains that can be splitted. We talk about the oil seed, the grains that has oil like granite. Those are the durable crop research. They go into such area.
True to its status as a pioneer research institute, it has an elaborate, well-equipped world-class laboratory for its research works.
This is food quality laboratory, where we carry analysis to determine the approximate composition of our food.
The Institute's research results have gladly given birth to very effective, tested homegrown technologies that are being adopted within and outside Nigeria. The Perishable Crops Research Department of the Institute takes care of the fear of having wastages in perishable crops from roots, tubers to fruits as well as vegetables. Livestock and fisheries are also not left out. The Evaporative Cooler System ECS is one of the technologies developed by the department to address the problem of storing perishables.
You load your fruits for storage and close it. As water evaporates from the wall, the inside chamber cools. On the same principle of our water pot at home that cools our water.
With storage, transportation and marketing being important components of the agriculture value chain, the department developed vegetable baskets, fish box and plastic crates that are smooth, stackable and ventilated for protected transportation over long distances. The cooling shed or packing house, as it is also called, is designed for the storage and preservation of yams and other tubers. For storage, the Institute designed, built and patented the improved inert atmosphere silos, an airtight physical artifact designed to fight against insect and microbial infestation in grains during storage.
Sometimes ago, the bean, the European country, they ban importation of our cowpea simply because of what? Because of a chemical that we have in the product. With this, the use of the technology doesn't involve the use of any chemical, whether synthetic or non-synthetic. And because of this, the issue of chemical residues in stored grain does not occur at all. If you take this one, there is no food poisoning. If you load today and there is any need for you to discharge tomorrow, you don't need any waiting period. Just discharge and you use it for whatever you want to use it for. Another important thing is that the technology has capacity. It has capacity to ensure the total mortality of all stages of insect, right from egg to the adult. And after that, there won't be any reinvestation. Likewise, there is no moisture migration nor condensation that could actually lead to caking of grain as a result of mold growth, which will lead to mycotoxin and the rest.
So these are referred to as rigid hermetic containers.
Another intriguing storage facility developed by the Institute is the end-spree hermetic steel drum. It is a non-chemical preservation system for dried durable products.
Airtight steel hermetic storage is effective for post-harvest reduction in dry durable products such as grains, pulses, roots, tubers, cereals, roots, tubers, fruits, vegetables, livestock and fisheries. And it also reduces the risk of pesticides and aflatoxin contamination.
One product of pride for the Institute is the N-Spree dust, developed through its post-harvest research efforts.
The NEWAGE dust, which is also patent, is a biopesticide for preservation of stored grains, and it's been patented, and it's currently awaiting NAFDAC registration. Yes, it's currently NAFDAC is under registration, awaiting NAFDAC approval, so that it can come into the market for the use of for preservation of grains, and that will go a long way to reduce the dependence on pesticides that have led to the rejection of our grains. Currently, we have carried out studies, can preserve grains for up to 12 months.
Another technology of pride from the N-Spree stable is the smoking kiln. It is a technology already patented and being adopted across West Africa. There are various on-farm storage and drying systems developed by the Institute, such as the crib, to be used for storage and drying of freshly harvested, unthreshed grains like maize and sorghum. N-Spree is carrying out its mandate by providing storage solutions to Nigerian farmers. Deploying these technologies will surely help in attaining some measure of self-sufficiency in food production, which invariably will enhance the fortunes of the agricultural sector in the country.
Welcome back. The agriculture value chain cannot be complete without mention of the outreach or extension arm. So, N-Spree, through research, has identified communities that are in dire need of their products and have reached out to such communities with technologies that will help them reduce wastage and give them more value for their farm produce. Now, in what areas is N-Spree making the most impact in its interventions? Our rural spotlight today is on the Ikponri community in Kwara State. Let's see what they have benefited from the N-Spree outreach activities.
The Ikponri community is a 45-minute drive from the Ilorin metropolis. It is a community very well known for the production of cassava, yam tubers, fruits and vegetables. It is the beneficiary of N-Spree's solar tent dryer for the drying of all crop components for community members as part of N-Spree's extension services.
Before?
Yes, were you doing it?
We normally go to the main road, put it on the main road, dirty fall houses, because when you say you put it on the ground, some cows, our goats, they will make trouble with our product.
As part of our community development efforts, in collaboration with Honorable Cook Olododo, we saw what their problems are, that they need something to dry their products instead of drying on the roadside, which is unhygienic and it takes longer time. So we found out their problem by conducting a needs assessment in the first instance, and we saw that what they needed most is what do I call it, a machining coat of this nature. This is a solar tent dryer, and by implication it works, what powers it is the sun. And on top of that solar tent dryer, you have an hot air expeller. If you look all around, you see dots all around where air goes inside, and the air gets heat up, And instead of cooking the products you have inside, because you have them shelves inside. But if you don't have an expeller on top of that roof there, what you have inside is cooking, there is not drying. So what this does is you find, I mean, the cool air goes inside hot air, it doesn't remain in there. It does what it should do, dry the product, and it expels it through the expeller I said at the outset.
We are very happy to get this project because it's actually one that it will give us dry products, neat, and than each other that have been done before.
We do fish, we process fish, we raise fish, and we do the small fish, we produce the small fish. You must have a processing outfit that you help you to sell, to process your fish if you can't sell them whole. That's number one. The prices for selling the fresh fish is not good as processing it. Sincerely, in this shoot today, if anybody wants to do smoking king, they will make sure they contact us, because they believe that the smoking king we are giving out is a very good one. So the impact in my business, as I can say, it has risen my level to some extent in this place, because when I want to collect the NAFDAC registration number, it makes it more faster. Immediately they ask us, where did you get your oven? It's from Esprit. They don't give us any problem.
Groundnuts are a popular commodity around the world. As a common food source, it is consumed as peanut butter, eaten as a confectionery snack, or crushed and used for groundnut oil in many parts of the world. Even the shell is a useful source of livestock feed, as well as for compost materials and biofuel, among other uses. Groundnuts are a legume with significant health and economic benefits for both the farmers and consumers. Across the world, more than 45 million metric tons of groundnuts are produced annually. China is the world leading producer of groundnuts with more than 17 million metric tons in 2019 and accounting for about 41% of global production. The Asian giant is followed closely by India with more than 6 million metric tons and 14% of global production. Nigeria is currently the largest producer of groundnut in Africa and the third largest producer in the world. She is tied with the United States, with each country a little shy of 3 million metric tons in 2019. Although Nigeria ranks third globally in terms of production, she is not doing so well in the area of export as she did in the 1960s, when the nation was the largest exporter. Groundnuts are sometimes called peanuts, especially by Americans. It currently sells for between $1,400 and $1,600 per metric ton. The leading producing states in Nigeria include Kano, Niger, Jigawa, Kebbi, Zamfara, Sokoto, Kaduna, Katsina, Adamawa, Plateau, Taraba, and Borno.
With the ingenuity available at the Nigerian Stored Products Research Institute, NSPRI, the agricultural sector will gain mileage faster, tapping into indigenous technology, especially in storage and preservation. This is where we draw the curtain on today's episode of the program, Transforming Agriculture in Nigeria. See you next week, same time, same station for another edition. Thanks for watching, and remember to stay safe.